Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different and I want to hear your guys' opinion on these types of videos. I really wanted to focus on one product that I found at the drugstore, and that is from Physicians Formula. So they actually launched a new version of the butter bronzer. It didn't replace the original butter bronzer, it just added to it. It's called the Physicians Formula Matte Monoi Butter Bronzer. I saw this and immediately I was like, okay, we all are so familiar and we know and love the original butter bronzer. Now I'm pretty sure they changed the packaging on this. I still just have the old packaging, but we all love this. And I felt like it was kind of interesting that Physicians Formula released a different version of the butter bronzer. They've really expanded the butter collection in general over the past couple of years, or since launching the butter bronzer after its success. So it kind of makes sense that they are expanding their bronzer range, since that's definitely what kind of made us all fall in love with the butter formula. So I wanted to compare the two. I wanted to try it on one half of my face, and then we'll try the original butter bronzer on the other half and just see if there's any difference, if this new formula is going to be worth it, if it's going to add to your collection or just be pretty much the same as the original. So that's what I wanted to do today. And I know I usually do like full face of drugstore products, but I'm trying something different. So that's why I have almost all of my makeup on except for the bronzer and blush and lip products and stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, you guys, I'm uploading this on New Year's Eve. I'm so excited for the new year. If you're looking for some makeup inspiration when it comes to a New Year's Eve makeup look, I will have the video I uploaded on Tuesday down below. I did a New Year's Eve inspired makeup look with like rhinestones on the eyes. It's the first time I've used rhinestones on my channel and it's so fun. So if you guys want to check that out, I will have that link down below as well. So let's chat. Okay, so what I'm gathering so far, just based off of like the box and everything on the back. So the original butter bronzer has muru, that's gonna be hard for me to say, but it has that butter in it. This new Monoi butter bronzer has Monoi butter. Also, it has that same muru butter. I can't say it. It also has two other bronzers that I'm not even gonna try to pronounce, but it seems like Monoi butter is one of the more main ingredients in this versus the original. So let me just read the back to you. So it says it's an ultra luxurious water resistant matte bronzer infused with Monoi and butter. I can't say that. To deliver a long-lasting matte Tahitian sun-kissed look. Incredibly creamy and soft texture combines the best features of a powder and a cream bronzer to deliver an airbrushed matte finish unlike any other. So I didn't really realize that the original butter bronzer, and when I came home and looked at it, I can totally see what they mean. So this one does have a little bit of a sheen to it, where this new one has just a matte finish. So that's the main difference that I'm noticing so far. When I was at Walmart, I actually saw two shades of this. I personally picked up matte bronzer. They had matte sun-kissed, I believe, which is a little bit more of like a reddish undertone shade, but I figured if this was the bronzer shade, maybe it would be similar to the bronzer shade that I use in the original formula. So let's open this. Okay, so here is the packaging. I think it's really pretty, actually. You have these gorgeous hibiscus flowers right here, and then like a more beige tone on the back. The top is like light blue. It's really pretty. The first thing I do is check the smell. Oh my gosh. So it definitely has a fragrance. It's different than this one though. I thought that they would be the same. This one actually smells really good as well. Definitely a little more floral, but I think it's really nice. So here's what the powder actually looks like. You can see that there's matte Monoi indented in there, and then they have a really pretty kind of floral print inside as well. Oh my gosh, this smells really nice. Underneath you get the mirror and the brush, which I believe this also has too. Yeah, the original came with that as well, but I don't use the brushes that come with these products usually. Wow, I actually like that more than I thought. It's really nice. This one's definitely more coconutty, and this one is way more floral. So kind of interesting. Okay, I tried to pick out two brushes that were clean that look similar. So first I'm going to apply the original bronzer onto this half of my face. I'm so familiar with this bronzer, and I know you guys are too, so we're gonna try them side by side. I feel like there's still something about the original scent and formula that it just never gets old to me. I think it smells so good. So I'm just gonna apply this using my Real Techniques blush brush. And we're just gonna warm up the complexion on this side. I'm interested to see like the tone and the texture. I want to know if it's comparable or if it really is something that's different that will add to my collection. Based off of the new scent, I feel like it is something that they are kind of trying to make a little bit different than the original, which is nice. I'm gonna put a little down this side of my nose too. A little more in the hairline. If you're wondering any of the other products I'm wearing on my complexion or on the eyes, I will have it listed and linked down below. I used all drugstore products today, so I will have those listed out. Okay, let's try out the new Matte Monoi bronzer. It's a very strong scent. Like, I feel like it's stronger than the original butter bronzer. All right, I'm dipping my brush. This is the Milk Makeup and Sephora brush into the powder. And let's go ahead and apply this to the right side of my face. I get this in the hairline. So yeah, the main difference, it seems, based off of marketing, is the sheen versus completely matte. I'm interested to see if it's even noticeable once you actually apply it, you know? The tone and undertone is definitely very similar on this. If you're wondering, I feel like it looks pretty much the same on both sides as far as the tone goes. Okay, let me look up close. I forgot, I'm gonna apply a little bit of that on the side of my nose and then down my neck a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna swatch them as well, side by side on the back of my hand so that I can kind of see the difference in a more concentrated area. So I'm swatching the Matte Monoi first, so here's what that looks like. I definitely feel like it is buttery. Let me see if it's as buttery as the butter bronzer or the original one. Okay, yeah, I feel like the original one is slightly more buttery, but they're both very soft in formula and they have a similar texture that way. Let me just build this one up on the back of my hand. Okay, I feel like this is actually easier to kind of see the difference between the two. Here's the original, and you can see when I move my hand, there's quite a lot of a sheen to it. This has a little bit of a sheen. I feel like it's still matte though compared to the other one, and it does have a little bit of a different tone to it actually when I put it on the back of my hand side by side. This is a lot more warm and toasty. So they aren't actually the exact same color, which I thought they were, and when I applied them, they kind of look similar, but it's clear that they're a little bit different once I swatch them on the back of my hand. So again, the original is slightly more buttery feeling and it definitely has that sheen to it, that healthy glow, where the Monoi bronzer is a lot more matte. The scent in this is very strong. I can actually smell it just by setting it on my desk. So that is something to pay attention to if you are sensitive to fragrance. It's a very strong scent. All right, let me quickly finish up the rest of my makeup and then we will talk about my first impressions. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Essence Pure Nude Highlighter and just apply that to the high points of the face. Next, I'm going to take my Revlon blush in the shade Rosy Rendezvous and just apply that to the apples of the cheeks. All right, now I'm taking my NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. I'm going to line and fill in the lips with this. I'm going to top that off with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss, and this one's in the shade Silk. And then I'm just setting my brows with my Milani Brow Gel. Okay, so here's the final look using the original butter bronzer on this half of my face and the new Matte Monoi butter bronzer on this side of my face. Okay, so here's what I have figured out just based off of my first impressions. I do feel like they're different enough for this one to add to my collection. Now, when I apply them on the skin, they do look similar in certain ways. However, I do really like having the idea of two different versions, if that makes sense, of a similar formula that blends really easily, has a fun smell to it, and all of that stuff. So this actually does have a lot more of a sheen to it. I still feel like my skin looks healthy with the Matte Monoi one, but when I swatch them side by side, it's pretty clear that this one has a little bit more of a radiance to it. So if you're somebody who doesn't really like any sort of sheen at all in your bronzers and you would rather have something that you know is completely matte, whether you have texture on the skin or something like that you just don't want to emphasize at all, it might be nice to have another version that's a little bit more on the matte side. I still feel like it doesn't look drying or anything when it comes to the matte formula, which is nice, so you still get that same healthy feel in the Matte Monoi formula. I'm actually really excited about it, and when it comes to the scent is the thing that's really, really noticeable. I definitely feel like they played it pretty safe with the scent in the butter bronzer because I feel like it's something that's very familiar that everyone's gonna really love. I don't know if everyone's gonna love the scent in this. It doesn't bother me, but it's so floral, like so floral. It smells like an orchid or something. I can't put my finger on what exactly the scent is, but it's not coconut at all. It's super, super flowery. It's like a tropical flower. I don't know. You'll have to smell it and tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you like the smell or not. But that could potentially be a big con for a lot of people, just because it is a little bit of a different kind of a scent in my opinion. Overall, I'm actually really excited about this bronzer. I feel like I will reach for it. I'm somebody who collects makeup though, and I really like to have those subtle differences in a bronzer. So if you're just somebody who's a little bit more minimal and you already love this butter bronzer, but you don't necessarily want to have, you know, several options of a bronzer, I think you'd be totally fine without this. It would only be really if you are a huge fan of the butter bronzer and you might want to have a more matte version just on certain occasions when you are in the mood for a more matte bronzer, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's something that like is revolutionary since we already all have the butter bronzer, but again, I do think it's good. As far as I can tell right now, it blended out really nicely and I am really excited about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to know if you guys enjoy these more single product focused videos where we can really go in depth with one product at a time, maybe doing a comparison like I did with the original butter bronzer. I would love to know. I feel like sometimes for me personally, it might be fun to switch it up a little bit and do some drugstore videos or other videos where I try a bunch of new products because those are always fun, but it also might be a little bit refreshing to just focus on one product here and there. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this style of video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the day. I will make sure to leave a note on longevity in the description box down below. I'm assuming it's gonna have the same lasting power as the original, but I guess we don't know yet, so be sure to check that if you're interested in how it wears. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. Happy New Year. I love you all so much, and I look forward to creating more content for you guys in 2021. It's gonna be a great year for all of us. I'm definitely ready for a new year, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well, so I hope you are staying safe and staying healthy, and I will see you next year in my next video. Love you.